Watching her walk toward me, ignoring every rule, I realized something. Love doesn't care about protocol.
My name is Commander James Ashford. I was a human diplomatic envoy sent to the Velcara Empire to negotiate trade agreements. Simple political mission. Standard assignment. I wasn't supposed to fall in love. But then I met Princess Lyris. She was brilliant, elegant, everything a princess should be. During the formal reception, we'd been introduced with the appropriate distance protocol demanded. No physical contact, minimal conversation, strictly professional interaction. Yet somehow, in the midst of political discussions and formal dinners, we found moments alone. Those moments changed everything. The first real conversation happened in the palace garden at midnight. "You're not what I expected," she said, her luminescent skin glowing faintly in the darkness. "Neither are you," I replied. She looked around nervously, as if checking for observers. "If anyone saw us together like this, alone, it would cause a diplomatic incident," she whispered. "My father has strict protocols. Humans and Velcara royalty don't associate beyond formal functions." "Then we shouldn't be here," I said, but I didn't move. "I know," she said. And she didn't move either. Over the following weeks, we continued meeting in secret. Late-night conversations in hidden gardens. Stolen moments in library corridors. Whispered confessions in shadowed alcoves. I fell in love with her mind first. Her curiosity about human culture, her brilliant political insight, her dreams for what her empire could become. Then I fell in love with her heart. Her genuine kindness, her willingness to question tradition, her courage to speak truth even when it contradicted centuries of protocol. "My father wants to arrange a formal treaty signing," she told me one evening. "A grand ceremony in the cathedral. You'll be there as the human envoy. Everyone will watch. And you'll be expected to maintain protocol," I said, understanding the pain in her voice. "I'm expected to maintain it always," she said quietly. "But I'm tired of protocol, James. I'm tired of pretending you're just a diplomatic visitor. I'm tired of hiding what I feel." The treaty signing ceremony was scheduled for the following week. The palace prepared with meticulous detail. Thousands of invitations sent. Every noble family in the empire would attend. It would be the most important diplomatic event in decades. I told myself I had to accept what this meant. A public display of proper protocol. Distance. Formality. The end of our secret moments. Lyris told me something different. "I'm going to do something that will probably cause an international incident," she said the night before the ceremony. "Don't," I said immediately. "Your father will." "My father will be angry," she interrupted. "Yes, the old guard will protest. Tradition will be violated. And I don't care anymore." She took my hands. "I've spent my entire life following protocol," she said. "Being the perfect princess. Saying the right things. Following every rule written before I was even born. And then I met you, and for the first time I realized that some rules are meant to be broken." The ceremony was extraordinary. The cathedral was filled with thousands of people. The stained glass windows cast ethereal light across the vast space. Music played. Incense burned. Ancient words were spoken. I stood in full dress uniform, holding the treaty documents. Lyris stood across from me in her royal gown, surrounded by her advisors and family members. The formal protocol required us to exchange the documents at a distance, never touching. But as the ceremony reached its conclusion, something unexpected happened. Lyris stepped forward. Not toward the documents. Toward me. The crowd gasped. Her advisors tensed. Her father, the king, stood from his throne. But she didn't stop. She walked across the entire ceremonial hall, her white gown flowing behind her, ignoring every shocked face, every whispered protest, every protocol violation. When she reached me, she did something no Velcara princess should ever do in public. She hugged me. Not a formal greeting. Not a diplomatic gesture. A real, genuine, defiant hug that told everyone in that cathedral exactly what she felt. The crowd erupted. Some in shock. Some in outrage. But some, the younger nobles, the progressive members of her court, began to applaud. The aftermath was complicated. Her father was furious. The old guard demanded diplomatic sanctions. Traditionalists called for her to be stripped of her title. But something unexpected happened. The people supported her. Across the empire, citizens began speaking out. They questioned why protocol mattered more than love. They challenged centuries-old rules that kept species separate. They demanded change. Lyra stood before her father, still wearing her ceremonial gown, and spoke with a courage that transcended fear. "I violated protocol," she said calmly. "I broke tradition. I ignored centuries of rules. And I would do it again. Because protocol says we should fear difference. Tradition says we should maintain distance. Rules say we should never cross barriers." He paused. "But I learned something from a human ambassador. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is ignore the rules that keep you from loving someone. Sometimes protocol exists to protect the powerful, not to protect us." The king was silent for a long moment. Then he did something that shocked everyone. He smiled. "I was young once," he said to his daughter. "I remember when rules felt more important than people. I'm glad you've reminded me that some things matter more than protocol." He turned to me. "Welcome to the Velcara family, Commander Ashford. Though I warn you, my daughter has already demonstrated her willingness to break protocol. She'll probably do it again." I looked at Lyris, her hand in mine, her violet eyes shining with tears of joy. "I'm counting on it," I said.